Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Friday. Glad to be here with you. We've been finding the area of lots of different shapes in in 2-dimension and 3-dimension. Today we're going to kind of wrap up our review of area by finding the surface area of cylinders. Okay, cylinders, two circles and a rectangle. The two ends of the cylinder are circles and the sides are a rectangle. Okay, if we cut the ends off of this can, right, we're gonna have a tube that looks something like this toilet paper roll that I've cut a straight line on, revealing that this part of the cylinder is actually a rectangle if we just flatten it out. Okay, and you can find lots of different tools to figure this out. Lots of different ways to see this, but your rectangle you find the area of using length times width. Okay, so that's like the height of your cylinder times the circumference of the circles on the end. The circumference is like the width. If we lie this thing out flat, right, the width and the circumference are the same, the height and the length are the same. Okay, so 3 different shapes that you're going to find the area of, and that will be the surface area of that shape. And you've got some resources here that you can use to help you find that, right? So this thing, this is a net. This is basically a visual aid of what I was just trying to show you. Okay, so like if I draw this red line right here, that's where I cut that toilet paper roll. Okay, and the two ends are going to be identical circles, right? Two ends are going to be identical circles. You cut the ends off that can of beans, and they come out looking like identical circles, and we find the area of those identical circles and add those together, and area equals pi r squared. And if you don't remember, you've still got this thing, right? You still have these resources in the classroom. It's there for you. Okay, if you look back, it's in the Module 13 review, this whole slideshow, all these different resources. Okay, you've got your key steps and points. These are different ways to look at this. Okay, some different explanations. If you like these ones better, use those ones. Okay, you've also got this right here. It just kind of summarizes all of this stuff, right? The height is like the length. The height is like the length. They're the same thing. Okay, and the width is like the circumference or the perimeter of the circle. When we cut that cylinder, right, and we lie it out flat, it's just a rectangle. Okay, so right here, I just underlined, and I'm putting in a box in blue. That's how you find the area of the rectangle, 2 pi r h. Okay, 2 pi r is the circumference, and h is like the length. Circumference is the width, and h is the length. Okay, and then in let's see, in red right here, right, that is the area of the 2 circles, the top and the bottom. Okay, pi times the radius squared is how you find area of a circle, and multiply by 2 because there are 2 of them. Okay, so now what we're going to do, right, you've got these tools, you know where they are, you know how to use them. We're going to go into this IXL, and we're going to solve a couple problems together. I'm going to go, let's see here. We're going to go back a little bit. We're not going to start there. Actually, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go to T12, surface area of cylinders. And boys and girls, all of these things are here for you to practice. If you feel like you need some practice with one of these skills, just jump in here. They're kind of fun. So we're going to find the surface area of this cylinder. We have a radius and we have a height. And that's all the information we really need. Okay, we're going to find the area of the top and bottom circles first, right? So let's write some formulas up top. Area equals pi times the radius squared. That's how you find a circle. And we have 2 of those circles, so we're going to multiply that by 2. And it says to use 3.14 in place of pi. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to find the area of 2 circles. So 3.14 times the radius of 5 squared times 2 equals, let's grab a calculator, and 3.14 times 25, that's 5 squared, times 2 equals 157. Okay, so we have 157 yards squared. That's the circles, the area of the circles. Okay, and remember there are 2 circles and 1 rectangle. So now we have to find the area of the rectangle. Okay, and remember 6 is like the length, and the circumference is like the width. So I'm trying to find the circumference, and circumference is equal to 2 pi times the radius. And again, we're putting 3.14 in place of the radius, and r is 5. Okay, and this is going to give us the circumference, which we then need to multiply by the height. So let's do this. 2 times 3.14, some of you may already see where this is going, times 5 equals 31.14. So if we would have looked at this a little closer, 5 times 2 is 10, and I could just multiply by moving my decimal over 1 place. So that's 31.4. That's the circumference. And remember, I need to multiply by the height to get the area of that rectangle. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to multiply that by 6, and that equals 186.84. And I'm going to add 157 to that because I have 2 circles and 1 rectangle. So 186.84, and then I add these 2 values. And what I got was 343.84. 343.84 yards squared. So I'm going to try that. 343.84. 343.84. Oh boy. 345.4. So where did we go wrong here? Radius is 5, height is 6. They got 78.5 for the top and bottom. $78.5 times 2. $157, and that's what we got. And then let's look at the other piece. 2 pi r, 2 times 3.14 times 5 is 31.4, and 31.4 times 6 is 188.4. Oh, I just wrote it down wrong. 188.4. Okay, so it's all about precision, right? We made a minor error there, and we just didn't write it down correctly, so we missed by 2 square yards. But we totally understand the concept, and the explanation helps us figure out that we understand the concept. We just made a basic mathematical error. So let's move on. Okay, we're going to try it one more time. Try that one more time. I'm going to find the area of the top and the bottom first. Okay, area equals pi r squared. And remember, I have 2 of those, so we multiply by 2. So let's do 3.14 times 4 squared times 2. Okay, and that's going to be the area of the top and the bottom. Let's do this. 3.14 times 16 times 2 equals 100.48. 100.48 centimeters squared. That's my circles. And then my rectangle, I have to find the circumference. I have to find the distance around the circle and multiply that by the height, or 5. Okay, so I'm going to do 5 times, let's see, 2 pi r. And I know that I'm going to replace pi with 3.14. And I'm going to replace r with 4. Okay, so let's try that. 5 times 2 times 3.14 times 4 equals 125.6 plus 100.48 equals 226.08. 226.08. Now I think, let's see here. So those are my 3 numbers. All right, so that's what I wanted. So let's go back. 226.08. 226.08. And there we go. We got it. Okay, and this is the same problem. There's nothing different here. So we're going to skip ahead and see if we find something different. That's the same. Same problem. We've got some decimals. You guys got this. Use the same steps, the same formulas. This one is a little different. This one starts with the surface area. This one gives you the surface area. Okay. So we've got to work backwards a little bit here. Okay, so my surface area is right here, 2989.28. And I know how to find surface area using this information here. I know that I find the area of the 2 circles at the top. So 2 circles times pi r squared, 3.14 is pi, and r squared. Okay, that's going to be the 2 circles. And then I add the area of the rectangle, and I find that with 2 pi r times h. So 2 times 3.14, 2 pi r times 14 times h. Okay, and then I just type all this stuff into my calculator. Okay, I'm going to do 2 times 3.14 times 14 squared. 2 times 3.14 times 14 squared. And that equals 1,230.88. 1230.88 plus, let's do this over, 1230.88. Okay, so now 2 times 3.14 times 14. 2 times 3.14 times 14 equals 87.8 87.92h. And now we're solving this equation for h. And you guys know how to solve these two-step equations. You get the variable all by itself. Okay, if I subtract this value from both sides, minus 1230.88. I'm going to type that into my calculator. 2989.28 minus 1230.88 equals 1758.4. 1758.4. And that should equal 87.92h. Okay, so let's go back here, because now I need to divide by 87.92. Divide 87.92 equals 20. So if I divide both sides by by 87.92, then I isolate my variable and I find what h is equal to, and I find that h is equal to 20. Okay, so we're going to try that. We're going to do 20. The height is 20. Okay, so this one gives us the surface area, asks what height is. That's the same thing. Let's see what the challenge zone's got. It's the same problem. The only difference is it's a bigger number with more decimal points. And the same thing. The same problem, okay? If you guys have any trouble with this, if you're struggling, I'll be in a Zoom meeting at 3:30 today. I'll be there to help, okay? Reach out. I'm here for you. Have a great day if I don't see you. Enjoy your weekend.